about the conventional process. Now what are the recent advancements in welding? Now what are the various techniques available, recent advancement in welding techniques, and how we are going to integrate that with automation. Now that is what very important. Now if you look here, this one is the application of robot welding.
The automotive industry was revolutionized in the 60s by the advent of robots to perform highly repetitive tasks, such as MIG welding, resistance spot welding, riveting, and adhesive placement.
Right, now these are the other recent techniques. There is something called microwave technique. Heating caused by interaction with dipoles such as those found in water or single carbon. This particular welding is mainly used for underwater welding. Now that is something very difficult. If you want to weld something in ocean, right, under the water, you want to go for welding. Now this particular welding is used. Now I was trying to locate some videos for this, but I couldn't. And there is something called hybrid welding as well. Now you combine 2 or 3 processes, right? Now you go for welding, so such as laser, plasma, laser plus arc, plasma plus arc, something like that. Now that is something called hybrid welding. People have started to work in this as well, right? Now there are possibilities to improve the mechanical properties as well. Now coming to the next one. So of course you would have seen a lot of advancement in welding, right? So the ultimate thing is for a welding engineer to have a means to join any parent metal for a successful operation in actual practice. There are a lot of problems available here. Probably you can work on. And if you are really strong in welding, now there is some chapter called Indian Welding Society. Just try to search the website. If some of your students get member in the Indian Welding Society, and actually I remember, I want to tell you about that. If you can call them and go for some workshops, particularly NDT workshops. I can tell you that hundred number of jobs are available in this world, particularly NDT. If you are really strong, non-destructive testing, right? If you really work on it and try to get some certification process, certainly that is going to help you, right? Now the next important point here, now I don't know how about the placements here for the final years as well as for the third years. Now I can tell you that you are all going to graduate in the most toughest period. Now that is something, if you think about job, you need to hold on your breath. That is the kind of fear you should get, because country is not doing good, world economy, global economy is not good, right? Now that is something going to bother you. Why? Because that is going to reduce the employability. There is no opportunity. Now not employability, I'm sorry, that is going to reduce the number of jobs available. Now if you look into India, the major first thing is, don't lock yourself within 4 walls that I will go only for a core company. So first thing, you should have a mentality that I can also work in IT services company as well. Now that mentality you should come, because the present scenario is getting jobs difficult. So try to get a job, and if you are not comfortable, probably you can shift later. That is the most important thing. So for getting a job, there are some skills required to get a job. When I say skills required, Anna University marks alone will not fetch you a job. A person having 95% and a gold medalist, if you say, you will not get a job. A person with 65%, 75% with some additional skills will get a job. Now when I say the additional skills, now that is what very important. What is skill? you should understand the difference between knowledge and skill. The first thing is public speaking skill. When I say public speaking skill, see, I have some knowledge in my particular subject, some knowledge, say, but I don't have the power of expressing or the communication so that you can understand what is the use of knowledge. I am a big zero. The same is the case. You have scored very well, but you are not expressing, you are a big zero. It is as good as no marks. You understand? You have a very beautiful library in your campus. Lot of books are there. Good. If you are not using, it is as good as no library. The same is the case. Same is the case. You have had very good knowledge, but you don't have the capacity or the power of expressing, you are big zero. That is why I am telling communication skill is very essential. Whatever I know, say, being an academician, being a teacher, my job is to deliver what I know. If suppose I can't do that properly, I am not proper person for this particular job. You understand? Same is the case. When you work in an industry, you need to deliver the technical content, market it, and you need to communicate effectively for the business to be successful. So that is the first thing. And I can tell you that overnight you cannot improve your communication skill. I have seen a humpty number of persons overnight, and I will tell you something. During an interview process, a very good student has not got a job. My own student in St. Joseph's College of Engineering, he didn't get a job. He is a very good student, bright student, highly knowledgeable. He has very good communication skill, everything is okay. 2-3 jobs he has failed. I asked the HR what is the reason for that. He says communication skill is poor. I cannot accept it. I cannot, because even his friends can't accept, his parents cannot accept. He is having very good communication skill. But the issue is, after we started to work with him, we have identified as something, a new problem, which I have never come across. Right? And the problem exists with everybody here. What is that? When you meet a stranger, you cannot speak. You will speak only with your friends, parents, and whom you know. As far as interview is concerned, you should speak to a person or the opponent. How you are supposed to deliver? You should speak as if you know him for the past 10 years. Just imagine how his body language is going to be. You understand? That is very important factor. So when I say speaking, public speaking, communication skill is what very important. And after that, the skill set. When I say skill set, you should understand the difference between the knowledge set and skill set. If you say the score what you have is reflects on skill set, you are absolutely wrong. It is only the knowledge. What is skill set? Then what in your resume, they don't ask knowledge set. They ask only skill set. Say evening you go home, you ask your mother that I am very hungry, and your mother says that how to make a dosa, but she doesn't know how to prepare a dosa. Now you understand the difference between knowledge and skill. That is something called cognitive skill. Use something with your hand. Whatever you know, work with your hand, and you should know how to do it. Whether it is any company, anything, that is what called skill. You know how to make a dosa. Everybody knows how to make a dosa. Can you make it? You will not get it. Things done. Are you able to understand? Now skill set is different. Practically you should do. Cognitive skill. You should work with your hand. Now that is what very important. So I have told about communication skill, cognitive skills. Then comes analytical skills, quantitative skills. Now where this you can develop. Now I tell you something. These skills are something which has to be developed in the classroom discussion, but I am very sorry that the present university system doesn't allow the student to develop these skills in